What's up, YouTube? Jeff back again. Today, another very exciting Samsung video for you guys. Today, I'm going to talk about my 6-month review of the Galaxy S23 Ultra, my experience using this phone over the last 6 months. I'm always kind of using Samsung's main flagship as my main daily phone. Of course, I have my foldables. I'm still got the Z Fold 5, but this is kind of a secondary phone for me, honestly. Usually the S series ends up being my main device. So I like to do this 6-month review, talk about the true experience. Before we do that, I want to thank my son, Jonathan, giving us the elephant slash modern day mammoth, as he calls it, to hang out over here. Also, if you guys haven't signed up yet for the newsletter on my website, go check it out. We have cool stuff like giveaways for icon packs, wallpapers that we use on the channel. Also, you guys can stay informed about my mystery box program where we give away free cases, cleaning kits, other accessories every launch if you pre-order devices from Samsung. Very cool program. Stay in the know over there. Definitely sign up. It'll be in the pinned comment description as well. So I've been blessed. I actually have two S23 Ultras, and the reason I want to mention that is because the one here on the left, which is my main daily phone, this one is running the One UI 6.0 beta. So of course, the experience of the software that I'm going to talk about today mainly is about the experience using One UI 5.1 stable, which I've been running for the majority of the 6 months that I've been running the device. And I'm also running that on my second S23 Ultra, which I mainly use for testing some things. It really helps having two because I review so many updates on this channel. So let's actually start with the software experience. And overall, I've been really happy with the smoothness of One UI 5.1. And One UI 6.0 brings some nice changes like the nonlinear animations. But overall, I haven't had any problems with the animations. You see there's a little bit of lag and hiccups, of course, because this is a beta here on the left. But I've been very happy with One UI 5.1 overall. No real problems or lag, opening applications, things like that. I've had a very good experience using it the last 6 months. Now, the one thing that I will say is that, as usual, there are some improvements that Samsung could make. One place where they really could make some improvements still, I think, is in memory management. There are some apps that tend to reload a lot, even though this phone has a ton of RAM, and you can also turn on virtual RAM. One of those apps that's particularly troublesome sometimes is YouTube Studio. I also think that has something to do with the fact that YouTube Studio just tends to be a problem for staying in memory on any phone. I don't know why, since it's a Google app. You would think they would take care of this problem since obviously Google is responsible for the back-end upkeep of Android. A couple of other just kind of small things about the software. I do think Samsung should try to integrate more of their Good Lock modules into the regular operating system. And I think they are taking some steps to do that with One UI 6.0. A lot of the Good Lock modules I'm not running here on the left because the beta doesn't support Good Lock fully yet. But I do have those Good Lock modules for the most part all installed here on my stable one that's on the right side. But I'd really like to see things like theme park, custom icon packs, those other ones really be integrated. Otherwise, I don't have any huge complaints. I mean, I think we all want to see changes for the sake of change sometimes. I do think the new quick panel here on One UI 6.0 and the new quick swipe gesture is pretty cool. And I think it looks nice. There's still some wasted space here that I think could be cleaned up. And I think Samsung will show us that with future beta iterations. But I don't really have any problems with the One UI software. 5.1 and I think 6.0 is a step in the correct direction. Let's talk about the next thing that I know people always want to know about, and that's battery life. I guess I'll talk mainly about this phone since this is the main one I've been using. By the way, I know people always want to see, I'm using the UAG case. This is the camel case. This is the lime color of the S23 Ultra. That's my main phone. Battery life has been okay on this device, but I wouldn't say it's been superb. Even on One UI 5.1, when I was running this on the stable channel, my battery life hovered around 4.5 to 5 hours. But to provide a little bit of context, I do use wireless Android Auto every day in my car, and I have about a 35-minute commute to work and a 35-minute commute home. Wireless Android Auto really eats a ton of battery. So if you use Android Auto and you use it wirelessly, you know this because it does Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and it's transferring data between your car's headset and your phone. I also have it connected to my Galaxy Watch 6 Classic. I had a Watch 5 Pro connected before that, and I use a ton of Bluetooth devices. I use headphones and stuff all day, Bluetooth speakers. So I guess 4.5 to 5 hours isn't that bad, but I would like to see Samsung significantly increase the battery life on the S24 Ultra, and I definitely think that's something they're working towards. While we're talking about that, one of the other complaints that I have, and I've had with Samsung phones for a while, is we do have 45-watt charging, which they call fast charging. That is not really fast charging for most Android phones these days, when some of the Chinese phones have 100 watts plus, I'd really like to see Samsung step up the fast charging to 65 watts with the S24 series. There are some things in the pipeline, some rumors that say they might do this, and I really hope they do, because fast wired charging is still very important to me, and it allows me to use my phone longer. Even if the battery life isn't that impressive, it makes it easier to top up sort of, when I come home. If I'm gonna go out that night, I can charge really quickly while I take a shower or something like that. Definitely would be nice to see some faster wired charging. Now let's talk about the camera. The camera's gotten several updates, and there are some new stuff actually in One UI 6.0. I've been happy with the camera. There's still a little bit of camera lag. It still has some issues with blurry pictures in action shots and sometimes in low light photos as well, a little bit too much noise. I think Samsung needs to work on optimizing that. I see a lot of complaints from people in the comments who say they have really bad issues. I really don't. Take a lot of photos of my son, other moving objects, and I don't really have any huge issues with it. But I do see that there is still some camera lag there. Like I said, Samsung did make some nice improvements, and with One UI 6.0, you now have this advanced, not the advanced picture options, I'm sorry. You've got, if you go into the settings here and you go down to camera assistant, you will find in here, you've got the optical quality zoom. You got that 2x zoom that came in a recent update that I talked about. And then you also have this new option inside in the advanced intelligent options of maximum, medium, or minimum with the amount of processing that it does afterwards. So this helps with a little bit of the delay from taking the picture to seeing the picture, and helps with a little bit of that perception of that lag. Now, of course, that doesn't really cure true shutter lag. That's something that still needs to be optimized a little bit, and I would like to see Samsung improve it. But overall, I'm very happy with the S23 Ultra camera. The only other camera that does comparably is the iPhone 14 Pro. I think it still does a little better in video, but I like the S23 Ultra better for pictures. I think it really comes down to your perception of like what kind of default color profile you like on your photos. Otherwise, they're really, really neck and neck for me at the end of the day. So that's camera. Let's see, what else to talk about? I mean, I really am happy with this phone. I don't have a lot of complaints. One other complaint that I will make, I made this one last year with the S22 Ultra. The display on this phone is great, but you can see down here, actually, if I hit the light in the right spot, tons of smudges around the fingerprint sensor. The oleophobic coating here is, once again, not the best in the world. And if you use the fingerprint sensor, you're eventually going to see the oleophobic coating is degrading around this center area. And it is very annoying. It's definitely better than it was with the S22 Ultra, where I eventually had to buy a new S22 Ultra sometime last fall in order to replace it because I used it so much for videos that was just getting on my nerves, the immense amount of fingerprints. I do use some oleophobic coating that you can restore to your phone. It's a liquid oleophobic coating you can reapply. And I also use some spray that kind of preserves it by not keeping the oil on here, and I kind of do that every day. I'll drop the links below if you guys want to check them out. They're both available on Amazon. It's a very simple process, but I would like to see Samsung improve that. Otherwise, I mean, I don't really know what to say. The build on the phone, I still prefer the flat sides. I kind of hope Samsung will eventually go there, but this one is close enough that it's been fine for me. They made it a little flatter, a little more squared off, and I've enjoyed that compared to the S22 Ultra, which was a little rounder. I mainly use my phone with a case since it's my daily driver. S Pen is still great. I don't really have any huge complaints about what they could do in the S Pen department. I know a lot of people are upset about bezels and things like that. Some of the other Samsung people out there want them to decrease the bezel size. I don't really have any huge complaints about that because having some bezel makes it easier to hold, watch movies and things like that, consume media. But I mean, this is the best Samsung phone ever. It's obviously, in my opinion, the best Android phone so far this year. I know there's a lot of competition in China and things like that, but considering that we don't really have those options here in the US, and also a lot of the bands and cell bands aren't compatible, this is the best phone specifically if you're in the US that you can buy, and it's my favorite phone so far in 2023. Still love the Fold 5, but this is going to probably be my daily driver until the S24 Ultra comes out, unless the Pixel 8 Pro can really show me something amazing. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification icon, future videos like this. Again, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't yet. Icon packs, wallpaper codes, cool updates on customization, the mystery boxes, other cool updates on the channel. You can also see like a rundown of my weekly videos, see which ones you want to watch, all that kind of stuff. Appreciate you guys checking it out. See you in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching.